This is a Feldenkrais technique that we use to increase your lung capacity for a race, or you can use it to increase your thoracic rotation for movement and for life. So you're lying down, right, and you just take a breath in and just expand your chest and just feel how the chest expands on the left-hand side compared to the right-hand side. Is it the same? Is one side feel like it expands more? If they feel the same, just be aware of kind of what feels natural. You've got like a baseline, okay? You're going to compare it later. And then on your side, knees bent, so just comfy. Have a pillow so you're comfy as well. And remember, this is a movement pattern. It's not a core strength program. So don't worry about setting your stomach, setting your shoulders. Don't worry about any of that. So it's just very slow, gentle movement. So up to 90 degrees first. And then each movement, you go a little bit further. So this is a little bit beyond that 90 degrees, slowly down. And so you'll start to feel the rotation happens from kind of the upper shoulder. And then as it goes further and further, it will almost like a corkscrew, it'll rotate down into the body and into the hip, okay? So about halfway through that thoracic spine there. So rotating, and then we just reach. So this again is really effective. So reaching up for the ceiling and relax it back. Reaching up for the ceiling, relax it back. Up again, and then relax back. And then we're going to progress to your rotation. So starting where you kind of finished off before, so about the same level, go to that level there, yep, and then rotating back. So you're following it with your head and your eyes, this one. So rotating that thoracic rotation, starting head, neck, shoulders, it's going down, further down the spine as you go further and further back. So keep going with that one. Rotating, you're trying to make these smooth. They'll never be perfectly smooth, but that's what you're aiming for. You're aiming to get rid of those little jerky movements. You can see Bronte's, she's actually doing quite well there. She's trying to smooth it out and make them perfect, even though you know you'll never get them perfect. Now this is reaching for the roof and rotating up. So this is the first time Bronte's done this, so she's having a bit of trouble with it. So then so that one wasn't great. We're trying to get 360 degrees through the hand, reaching up for the ceiling. So if you think of where the palm's facing, and then the shoulder comes back into its normal position, you're trying to get the hand into that same 360 position. This is a better one, up to the ceiling. And then the shoulder retracts back as she comes back. So we'll show you more of that on the other side. You'll get used to that. And then you go back to the fulls again. So rotating from upper thoracic, I'm showing you there, right down to the hip. You're following it. So feel every little vertebrae. The top vertebrae rotating, followed by the second, the third, the fourth, and right the way down. Rotating, full rotation again. Follow it with your eyes, follow it with your head, right to that full range, and then right back down. So remember, we're using movement to lengthen the body. And then we're going right over. We're kind of getting to the end of this little pattern. You're going to stay there, and this time the hip is going to distract down. So the hip moves down towards the knees and the toes, and then relaxes. One more, so the hip goes down towards the knees and toes and then relaxes. And then last rotation, feel that whole rotation. Remember, slow and smooth. Hardest thing about Feldenkrais is to keep it very slow. Full rotation and then coming back, okay? So that's the right hand side. Then you're gonna lie back onto your back. Thank you, Bronte. And she's going to check her body contact. So she can check the left and right side of the shoulders. But particularly for this one, it's the breath. So she's taking a big breath in there and then relaxes it out. And she's just aware of how it feels. She's saying that expansion on the right-hand side feels like it's bigger than the left. And that's often what you'll feel. You've used a movement pattern to really open up the ribs on that right side. So guess what? Now you can do the left side. Okay, so same position, and then just knees comfy, bent, got your pillow, up to 90 degrees first. So remember, no setting of the stomach, no setting of the shoulders, it's just the movement. Really slow, really smooth. And then a little bit further again. So just going beyond the 90 degrees. So that rotation is coming from, again, neck into thoracic spine. It starts to creep down the body as she goes further and further each time. Next one's a little bit further again. So just past that 90 degrees, the thoracic rotation's heading further down the body, closing it down, and then right up to the 90 again. And we're going into our reaches. So reaching for the ceiling and then just relax it. And then reaching for the ceiling and then relax. And again, right up, just comfy, really slow, really smooth, and then relax. Last one. And then relax back down again. And then back to your rotations, back to about the level that you got to just before. So really getting further and further out, so that rotation is going further down the body. So as you're rotating, you're feeling the top part of your body rotate. So next, following the hand, you're feeling the rotation creep down the body. So I'm talking about that one vertebrae into the next, into the next. It's getting right down almost to that hip there. And then it's going to keep rotating. Almost to the full rotation position there, and then rotating back. So one vertebrae at a time, you can start to feel that rotation go through the body. So you can start to get that awareness happening. And what you're doing is you're training each vertebrae to do its own little piece of the movement. So you're waking up the connection from brain to each level of your vertebrae. Then your reaches. So remember, this is your reach with your twist. And then relax. So remember, getting 360 degrees with the hand. Reach up, turn out, relax. The hand will turn the other way. So you're trying to get that 360. Don't worry if you can't get it. Reach up again, externally rotating, then just relax. Then back to your full rotations. So again, feel that the head's turning, you're looking at your hand, rotating from the upper body, you're feeling each vertebrae level rotate, then rotate right down to your hip and your lumbar spine. And slowly back. So again, you're trying to smooth these out. You're trying to make them as perfectly smooth as you possibly can, knowing you'll never get them perfect. Rotating right the way back. Again, try and have that mental awareness of one vertebrae into the next, into the next, into the next. Rotating right over again. And then we're going to sit in that position, and then the hip is going to distract down. So you're trying to lengthen your hip. It's lengthening to that hip. Lengthening to that foot, and relax. Lengthen now. See, it's moving now. And relax. It's a subtle movement. Lengthen the butt towards the foot, and then relax back. Last one. Lengthen. And then relax. And then you're just back to your full rotations again. Last one. And then you want to check it. So back onto back, and just be aware of your breathing. So comfy with your head, and then just take a normal breath in. And then what you're going to do is increase that. So you're going to hands on the chest and just really fill up your lungs, and be aware of what that feels like left and right. Very commonly, you'll feel like you expand evenly on the left and right hand side. So you're increasing your oxygen intake, and you're optimizing your thoracic rotation for performance in whatever you do, whether that's sport or just having a younger body for life. Try and do it pre-event or once a day.